That'll be the cold open.
Meow, meow.
Making fun.
To build a zombie, you must first start with the guts. Guts are made out of old hammock rope and spray foam. This is the same great stuff expanding foam that I have used in many previous videos. To make the guts, just spray a thin amount onto the rope itself and then swiggle it about and wait for it to expand. We are going to be using a lot of this stuff to build our zombie. We started to give our zombie some shape by making a mold out of Tavis's leg and foot. This is a very standard practice where you first wrap someone up in saran wrap and then wrap them up in duct tape so that it holds its form. Then you just cut it off of them and you have a torso or a leg or an arm or whatever you prefer.
Okay. Like a glove.
Boot.
It's got that new boot smell.
Take that, shoe video.
Right? Why did it take me so long to make my own shoes?
Then we did it again to make our zombie's torso.
I feel really calm in this.
It's getting stuck to itself on other places. I'm not really sure where Tavis has gone, but I hope it's nice there. And he's back. Okay. I'll be right back. You stay here.
I'll stay here. That's a wrap.
Wow. Anyway, then I covered him up in duct tape, which is every little sister's dream.
Oh,
Come on, you beautiful butterfly.
oh my God.
Relief.
Yeah, they weren't kidding about how wet it gets in there.
Once I cut my sibling free from his duct tape straitjacket, I taped it shut, used a little bit more saran wrap to build up the neck, and then I used an egg carton to make a neck, because egg cartons are vaguely neck-shaped, right? Yeah. Making myself a husband. This is my, wow, this is unsafe, face. And nevertheless, she persisted.
Nodding towards your wrist. Nodding towards your wrist. This is how you die, cause you're cutting towards your wrist.
This time it was fine.
See, that looks so lifelike.
It does.
It's kinda eerie.
That's
And I think that is so fundamental to making this look convincing.
It is weird.
They are so cute, aren't they?
Squishy. And to give our bodies some shape, we are back to foam.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sticky. It's not great. This is bad. Don't get this on your skin. I feel like I've said that many times. So many times, and yet I never learned. While we waited for the torso to dry, we started painting our guts.
Our lives are so much more interesting than other people.
How do normal people spend their time?
Tell us in the doobly-doo.
This is when things start getting gross, so if you're squeamish, I would stop here.
Oh, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I love it! In order to build up the face, I tapped into my forensic anthropologist knowledge from the show Bones and used foam clay to build up the muscle and skin on this plastic skull. This was my first time working with foam clay, and I really enjoyed it. Unintentionally, the clay gave the muscle a really realistic texture that made this extra disturbing to work with. Once the foam clay had dried, I used a box cutter to create some striations and other textures to simulate muscle. I did my best, but I studied bones in school, not muscles, so I have no idea if this looks right or not. A healthy coating of Mod Podge and a crumpled up brown paper bag serve as our leathery, disgusting looking skin. And remember, the more real you want it to look and feel, the more Mod Podge you add. Seriously, this is when things started getting a little freaky. I added it all around, places that I thought skin might still cling on, but also places that I thought it would be the most disturbing for there to be still skin remaining. Everyone, meet Bob. Gotta add that black wash to your guts so they look extra realistic. Delicious.
I picked up an old ice cream maker at the Goodwill. I thought this would be a good zombie motor as it turns very slowly. Two of the biggest problems that I had to tackle were how to mount the motor to the base of the chair and how to attach Bob to the motor to get the rocking motion that we were looking for.
This is my third or maybe even fourth design now. So what I have here is a 2x4 mounted across my chair with an old bean can securely bolted in. There's a hole here where the spindle goes down and connects. So here I've got several different size cup links resting on a 1/2-inch PVC pipe, and what that's going to do is just hold all of the parts together, but they're not actually secured. And that way the two pins, the one coming up from the motor and the one coming down from the zombie, are not actually attached to each other but moving around. And since they're not cut exactly flat, as they move around, there's a warping effect that causes the whole system to move. So let's put Bob in and turn him on. So it looks like the problem is I've mounted this bracket too high up. And so now the zombie is resting on the coffee can, or the bean can. And so it's not actually hitting my spindle. So, we'll be back. Alright, I hope I have it all worked out now. I have redone this a little bit lower, so now I can actually see that the bean can is not resting directly on the body here. So we're going to go ahead and try this yet again. Hold this part down.
And it rotates and stops. I just can't get these two pins to work consistently together. A little blue painter's tape will help Bob's right shoulder stay more in line with the chair.
That's more like it. There we go. So what I did was I cut this piece of PVC pipe down a bit more so that it would be more hilly and valley. Okay. So that makes just more movement in the end.
The two PVC pipe pins kept slipping off of each other. It would work for a little while, but eventually it would fall apart, and I didn't want to constantly have to readjust it. In Tinkercad, I designed a special cup link that would fit the ice cream maker and loosely fit around the PVC pipe coming down from Bob. And here is the completed print. I had to shave it down to get it to fit inside, but in the end, it worked very nicely. I finally found a use for all those supermarket plastic bags.
Hey Tavis, thanks for joining us here in VoiceOver Land. Once the mechanism was in a place that Tavis was happy with, it was time for us to paint. We gave Bob a nice white undercoating to start with, and then started dabbing on various pinks and purples and blues and browns and everything to make him look rotted and gross, leaving his cut open chest nice and juicy red. This was the skin color we eventually settled on, which is not the color that was in that bottle, but a color that I mixed myself that just happened to be the exact color as the color in that bottle that you're looking at. Tavis started adding toilet paper and Mod Podge to make a nice sinew texture and to build this up a little bit more. And then I went in with cotton balls and Mod Podge to create a scabby look around where the skin facial tears are. I also was dragging Mod Podge and cotton balls across different joints to make it look like fascia. Yeah, again, gross. I'm gonna say that a lot from this point. It's gross, but it's so cool. This cotton ball Mod Podge technique, we do this about 1,000 more times in this video, and it makes everything look extra real and extra gross and just generally extra. Anywho, I think Tavis has an update on that motor.
I created a sturdy pivot point by mounting 2 L brackets to the chair around the hole. Then I laced the bolt through the PVC pipe. I had to completely abandon the ice cream maker. As the zombie's weight increased, it became too much for the weak motor. I zip-tied a power drill in the on position to one of the legs of the chairs. I was able to adjust the speed of the drill with a dimmer switch that I attached to an extension cord. The power drill's chuck secured the spindle in place, which I fashioned from some thick gauge wire. I mounted a weight on the bottom of the PVC pipe to counterbalance Bob's weight, creating a pendulum. To turn the rotational action into linear action, I flattened a piece of PVC pipe and then twisted it and bent it into a hook shape.
Don't worry, guys. I'm sure we'll use that ice cream maker for something. And now, it's just the final touches with some more Mod Podge, some more red paint, and a whole lot of cotton balls. This is the grossest thing I've ever done.
But again, this is going to be covered with a shoe, so it doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
You're
I mean, we could have just put spray foam inside of a shoe. Hi. If that's what we're doing.
But we've already done this. But we needed the whole leg too.
Yeah, we needed the whole leg, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be hard to get into a shoe. This is Rory. You're going to be seeing a lot of him. Because he likes to be right here. Hey, Rory. 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 Hey, Rory.
Rory, come on.
No, buddy, that's paint. Are you supervising? Hi, baby.
Look out, Robert F. Kennedy. I'm Saran.
Did you get that?
A long way to get that joke.
They're about to eat themselves. I know.
You want to flip it around so we can see if it's a good shot?
I mean, I think this shot will fall under it is what it is.